I'm Gordon Ryan. I'm a black belt under John Danaher and Gary Tonin, and I'm representing Team New Wave Jiu-Jitsu. It's great to be back on Who's Number One. I missed not just Who's Number One, but the competition stage in general. I'm not doing a full match, I'm just doing an exhibition as of right now, but I'm working my way back to a healthy state, hopefully. I have my fingers crossed, and I'm happy to be back out there in front of the fans, under the lights, and I'm happy to give the fans a show. So I'm competing against Phillip Rowe. I've actually known him for a long time. He's coming off a huge knockout win in the UFC. He's a Who's Number One veteran, and I'm excited to get out there and give everybody a show.
My name is Phil Rowe. I'm a brown belt under Julian Williams, and I train at Fusion Excel in Orlando, Florida. I mean, it's epic to be on a card like this. Gordon Ryan is pound for pound the best grappler that we've seen in our era. He gets results and he wins, and he's finishing guys. Why not test yourself versus him? When that bell rings, I'm gonna be in his face, start to finish. I'm gonna be pushing the pace, bringing it to him. So I'm not here to lay down at all.
It's been years since anyone's passed my guard or taken my back, so it'll be interesting to show positions that I haven't necessarily worked on in a few years.
I'm at the highest level of MMA for a reason. I've never been fooled a day in my life. When that bell rings, I'm bringing it to him for that entire 15 minutes. He could sub me 100 times. I'm coming right back.
Philly fresh. I'm excited to put on a show. If you don't manage to submit me, I will give you a rematch. And whenever we get the Cadillac and the Audi on the same road together, we can race. And I'll give you your chance for redemption there.
Gordon, I appreciate you giving me the opportunity. I appreciate you picking Phil Rowe for your return match, but I'm coming for you, man. Start to finish, I'm coming for you. I'm coming.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Palmer Event Center, live worldwide on FloGrappling.com, Austin, Texas, we are now set for the main event, which is scheduled for a special attraction exhibition in the heavyweight division, scheduled for a 15-minute time limit. Introducing first, out of the blue corner, representing Fusion XL, Orlando, Florida. Please welcome UFC welterweight veteran, Phillip the Fresh Prince Rowe.
Quite the introduction for this man right here, who is a natural-born entertainer, a showman, and very eager to do his thing here once again on Who's Number One. Now, we saw him compete in a match against Cody Steele earlier this year, and he showed that he is an incredible athlete. But as much as he is about showcasing his skills, he's all about giving a show for the fans.
Oh man, he's a superstar talent, right? He comes out, puts on a full-on performance. You guys saw the weigh-ins yesterday. He came in storming into the office with a custom-made boombox that he ended up giving to Gordon Ryan. You just gotta love a little extra flair. It brings out a different dynamic to this matchup. Kendall, would you ever walk out like this? Is this in the future for you?
I think I might have to now. I'm like, oh, this is pumping me up, especially with the specific outfit we have going on. And the injury, though, not such a fan of the hand wrap.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing his opponent out of the red corner, representing New Wave Jiu-Jitsu, Austin, Texas. He is a 4-time Eddie Bravo Invitational Champion, a 2-time No-Gi World Champion, and a 3-time ADCC World Champion, and the pound-for-pound #1 no-gi grappler in the world. Please welcome the King, Gordon Ryan.
Little more needs to be said for this man's list of titles and accomplishments. Gordon Ryan, in the span of only 5 years, has managed to establish himself as one of the very best no-gi grapplers, not just in the world, but arguably of all times. And Ryan, the pound-for-pound king, the pound-for-pound #1 no-gi grappler in the world, returns to the Who's Number One mat for the first time in a long time.
Yes, and it's going to be very interesting to see what Gordon brings to this challenge, especially considering the special exhibition format that we have here tonight.
Well, as they face off, you kind of get a little look at them, and you can see that in height terms, that Rowe has a 1-inch height advantage, 6'3" to Gordon, 6'2", and they're already at the way. They're already at the way. They didn't even wait for us to say go. They already started. Can you believe it? They want to get this going. And this is an exhibition match. Let's be clear that this is a 15-minute exhibition match. That should there be a submission at any time, they will restart standing and they will simply continue. That there is no official winner or loser in this match. Now Ryan, he says that he wants to showcase certain different elements of his jiu-jitsu that maybe we haven't seen before. Phillip Rowe says, no man, make no mistake, I'm coming for him. I want to tap out Gordon Ryan.
Hey, there are serious bragging rights in that exhibition match or not. Gordon, though, in a very familiar place here, starting this thing off.
I think he catches the first one, and that is 45 seconds in. Gordon gets the first tap inside a heel hook. Let's keep count of how many submissions we will see.
Yeah, I'm interested to see the approach here because we talked a lot before the match about Gordon letting himself be put in really bad positions to show some escapes and show submission exits, and especially because we don't normally see him in those types of positions. But I think, you know, it's pretty obvious he wanted to go out and very first and foremost make a statement, like, make no mistake, I am here, I am in control, and I can do what I want anytime.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And I think that initial sequence right there, very much Gordon's A game, shall we say, something that he made his career with in tapping out people with devastating leg locks. But I'm interested to see what are the aspects of Gordon's game that we haven't seen before that he's going to showcase for us tonight. He mentioned something about back escapes. So will we see him purposefully put himself into bad positions and go after, or let Phillip Rowe go after him? But I don't know. I think that might be a little dangerous. Phillip Rowe, you know, he's... if he sees something, he's gonna crank it, right?
No, he's a shark. I mean, someone that athletic and strong and determined and such an incredible athlete, you know, obviously a great jiu-jitsu athlete, but more known for his career in MMA. If he has a fully locked submission, there is no holding back. I think it's a little dangerous. You know, we might see some surprises here, but obviously Gordon's prepared for that too. So I'm interested to see, in particular, which positions may start to be baited, or at one point that'll start to come into play, because Gordon very much still dominant here, scooting into the back with that arm control.
Going over the top from that almost like a knee ride position, and already has the arm trap as well on that one side. And this is not just any Gordon Ryan, this is a 240-pound Gordon Ryan on the back of Phillip Rowe.
Yeah, Gordon was mentioning now that he has his stomach issues fixed up and he's able to eat, but he also hasn't been able to lift because of traveling and certain restrictions, that he's, you know, probably the heaviest in, like, he's never been in this kind of shape before during a grappling match. So we haven't really seen him look like this before during competing.
However, we do know that as big as he is and as technical as he is, that he has admitted that he is not in peak physical condition by any means, and I think this is now an opportunity for Phillip Rowe to start working some attacks and for Gordon to show us some of the back escapes that he has been teasing. But you do wonder, with it 15 minutes, you know, can Gordon go for that length of time? Can he keep up a pace against a supreme athlete like Phillip Rowe? And, you know, will we see Rowe start to wear him down as we get deeper into this exhibition match?
Yeah, you got to think that's maybe part of Phillip Rowe's game plan here, is to start off a little slow and wear Gordon down, thinking he might have the cardio advantage given Gordon's current training predicaments.
There we see, look at this. We see Gordon allowing Rowe to take this double top wrist lock, the Kimura grip. And Phillip's telling me, no, he didn't let me take it, I took it.
Switching to an armbar here. So we did hear Gordon talk about fully locked armbar escapes, so we're going to see that exactly happen right now. Although,
see Rowe adjusting there, switching from the armbar now back into the top body position.
That was an interesting thing for me to see, because it almost looked like Gordon went for the escape and Rowe was not intent on keeping the armbar. He was happy to let go and regain the top position. I wonder if Rowe knows what Gordon's plan is here and he's not You know, maybe he doesn't want to play into it too much. Maybe he's not super excited to be used to show off these new things that Gordon
Nobody wants to be somebody's demonstration partner, to
right.
be a grappling dummy. No, Phillip Rowe is coming here and he wants to take out Gordon Ryan. He's going to do that by whatever means necessary.
See a little more insistence and aggression here from Gordon, attaching onto that leg, coming up to the top position, but he might leave the turtle open again.
Now we see Rowe with a body lock. Maybe look to take the back from here or force Gordon down. He's got an arm up around the neck, almost like a position for a head and arm choke from this back position here. Gordon staying very open from here, almost baiting Rowe to take those, to put those hooks in. But look at that, the beautiful recovery straight into what looks like the setup for the, again, the inside heel hook. But
I think that's definitely something that we're going to hear Gordon talk about later as far as turtle escapes go, or back defense goes. Exactly the sequence that just happened there, where he was able to either enter the legs or come into a passing position on top.
Such fluidity in not only turning to mount, but catching the grip of the wrist behind the back as well. This is a very difficult position for the bottom man to be in. Phillip Rowe has to be very careful not only to keep his arms safe, but also his neck as well. Gordon's fluidity for such a big man moves so smoothly.
Sometimes I don't know if we realize the significance of the positions that are happening with Gordon because he flows through them so simply. Like, for example, you know, there was a big guard pass moment earlier where he jumped onto the back, and none of us even really said anything about it, but it was quite a big movement. It was just very smooth. And now we see it.
As you say that, look at that rolling over.
Exactly.
Dexterity. Yeah, an arm-in guillotine here. And there is another tap. Gordon, elbow to the hip, puts the hand in the pocket, gets the second submission. That one took a little longer to find.
Heavy on the head is Rowe coming in with a little bit more pressure. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a little bit more of a pickup of aggression from Rowe. I mean, he is an MMA fighter. He has a very, you know, heavy hands, is very aggressive style. So settling into side control now. We'll see if he looks for that Kimura top block again, or maybe opts to move to the mount of the back. Or we do know he loves the darts. The darts is his favorite position, so he seems starting to lock up his...
through.
He is. Yep. He's got long arms as well, and that's perfect. As you've seen from the Ruotolo brothers, that those long arms are excellent for catching the darts chokes. He's got a solid grip. You can see the hand roll through, but he's actually electing to kind of go back a little bit.
It was a weird option to move towards the head when typically you want to be a little bit more perpendicular. So looks like he lost the angle, but now switching into a guillotine of his own.
This is an arm-in triangle, an arm-in guillotine version that Gordon Ryan calls it's pretty much a head and arm choke. And that elicited a reaction. You could see a change in color on Gordon's face in that sequence. That submission, that had a little bit more bite to it.
It did. And, you know, nice little offensive moment there, but we see John Danaher in the corner, not too worried about it as he looks on here at the action. And I like that Philly Fresh is trying some new things here, looking to scramble a little bit, as Gordon does to give him some openings as well. So I do think Gordon will show his back at least a few more times in this match.
Oh, you said it. Look at that, almost right on cue.
It's interesting. It almost seems there's a tiny bit of frustration with Gordon. He seems to be giving options, and then Rowe's not really cooperating, in my opinion, of what he wants him to do. But now we see a different change where he does jump fully on the back.
Looking to put the body triangle on.
We're about halfway through the match now, so I think we're going to start to see the pace pick up a little bit. Gordon demonstrating a nice body triangle escape here while also protecting his neck at the same time, which is really important. A lot of people get choked from the back when they try to fight the body triangle with the hands because they leave the neck exposed.
Can't quite see from this angle exactly what's going on with the neck. If we could switch, might be able to see, because this body triangle is such a factor in Rowe. He's got long legs and he's switching sides, but working, there we go, working on the upper body at the same time.
He has such long arms, really able to wrap, almost like he's going to try to switch into an arm triangle, but now the arm has escaped.
Look at the way that Gordon's managed to get his back flat on the mat like that, and now Rowe basically doesn't have the back control anymore. He's off to the side. He could transition to the mount here, but the
nice
back attack.
Underhook. Yeah, that was a really smart switch to the underhook because he lost the arm triangle, so he's able to maintain the underhook, come to the top position, and now still a very dominant mount. Going to reset to the center.
Reset in that same position. I want to give a shout out while we're here as well. I want to give a shout out to Philly Fresh's amazing fight gear. Look at that. Not only is that a sleeveless rash guard in the style of a basketball jersey, but of course the Chicago Bulls logo on the leg, the number 23 on his back. You know what that means. Iconic.
Tribute to arguably the GOAT, right? Michael Jordan. I'm sure I'll make some people angry with that comment.
I find it really interesting. Gordon's talked so much about offering fights with people with starting mounted with both arms above the head, where we just found him right now with his arm above his head in the mount, and just made it look so effortless to escape and come to the top position.
Yeah, this is the thing, isn't it? I mean, now we've seen that Gordon, I mean, we saw Phillip go for a couple of positions and have a couple of decent submissions, or looks at submissions. Gordon just almost doesn't have to do anything to escape. He's never truly out of position, even when it looks like he's in danger. You see here now that heavy side control. This is where the weight difference comes into effect as well, right? Because Rowe, he came in on our scales yesterday, and you know he was fully clothed. He didn't have to weigh in much like the other athletes did, but you know, he wasn't light. He was hovering around about 200 pounds thereabouts. It's a solid 35-40 pound weight advantage for Gordon Ryan here, and that goes a long way.
Here we see a really great use of, you know, pinning the shin and now stepping over to the top side arm.
Look at the way that he's scissored his legs on the upper body of Rowe as well, and now working on that far arm. Complete isolation of the near side arm and the head, and taking his time on working on that lock.
Nice moves to a triangle lock position. That's such a powerful position from the top, because you isolate the head and the arm together, and the other arm is pretty helpless, and so you have the option of going to the triangle here. You can attack the free arm.
There's the finish as well. Gets that squeeze from the legs around the head and neck. Another submission. 4:36 left in this match.
It'll be interesting to see if Gordon keeps trying. Oh, he does come up for a nice double leg little wrestle up.
Often see Gordon wrestle, but he certainly can when he wants to.
It'll be interesting to see if he decides to opt in to just go for more submissions and keep attacking, or if he's going to continue to try to be a little bit more vulnerable and show some escapes. Although he's looking a little more dominant now than he did before, moving to the back.
Turned up the pace, it looks like.
The way he floats over the top like that now. Phillip Rowe's going to have to keep his neck, his chin tucked, and his neck out of danger there, but Gordon elects to put him back to the mat and work this top pin series, floating from position to position here. Nice bridge and escape there from Rowe on top now, and the butterfly guard, an opportunity for him to pass.
I'm surprised not to see more forward pressure from Rowe here. You would think he would take this opportunity to really, really drive the pass home. But he is staying on his knees with his knee shield, kind of searching for a darce a little bit too, with that arm coming underneath, but not able to close the distance because of Gordon's left knee. Oh, now Gordon coming up almost to the back, or a single leg to wrestle up.
Oh my word,
Beautiful,
amazing
sweet
use of the hook, taking it to the outside and kicking away that supporting leg, opening up the back. I'm going to want to see a replay of that later. That was slick as you can ask for.
Yeah, that was pretty tasty, I gotta say.
Beautiful little ankle sweep from the backside.
And this is the showcase of grappling skill that we were hoping to see in this exhibition match here.
Just under 3 minutes left. How many submissions are you at, Hal?
We're at 3 submissions so far. Definitely catch at least one more, maybe more.
Now the odds were, at one point, plus 2,000 for Philly Fresh to secure a sub, meaning you stood pretty good chance of making some serious money if you had bet on that until the match played out the way it has, right? But that was
look at that ankle pick there from Gordon. A huge mat return.
But as I was saying, I don't think we're going to see that from Philly Fresh today. I was curious. I almost bit.
There's 2 minutes left to go. I mean, anything could happen. We see Gordon now looking on that far arm. He's got a what looks to be the double top wrist lock, the Kimura grip, stepping over the top almost, possibly looking for that Tarka Plata. Certainly thinking about it, I felt like.
Again, you can see he's consistently trying to use his shins to pin that bottom arm down, which is something he talks about a lot, and he returns to a very similar position we saw earlier, where you have the option of the triangle or attacking the top arm, and back onto both knees in a very dominant spot here. But now, instead of finishing the triangle, he's going to come to the arm instead.
Oh no, there is the triangle. He switches back. This is the beautiful thing. He has the option of both now, and this is very reminiscent of the position, that side triangle that he had against Kyle Bain, but instead of the arm, he simply finished with the squeeze. A second triangle choke. That's now 2.
Interesting single to sit here and some fake punches from Phil.
And this is the entertainer that we're talking about. This is Phillip Rowe, the MMA fight, and you do have to wonder. How different this would be if strikes were allowed. If it was, you know, an MMA match and the grappling exchanges. Oh, look at that! Just beautifully, just smoothly advancing through and over the guard. The footwork of Gordon Ryan in dealing with the defenses. And now a little showcase once more of what is possible from these positions should strikes be allowed. A minute remaining in this match.
You gotta wonder when they have those fake strikes. Like, I think if someone was fake striking me, I would accidentally just punch them back. I really do.
Accidentally?
You're
so funny. Whack. Again, he's got that grip of the arms. You can see, look at this, perfect shot there, but elects to let it go. Now Rowe's on top. Rowe's got 40 seconds left in this match. He can make a statement here if he wants to. He can go out with a bang. There's still 30-something seconds left in this match, but Gordon elects to come back up on top and pushes Rowe back down to the mat.
Nice step over from Gordon here again to this same position that we've seen now for the third time.
And gripping the
Triangle
leg.
locked up.
Getting that squeeze. Putting the squeeze on. There's only 5 seconds left in this match now. You see Phillip Rowe's finger comes up. He's like, no, I'm not tapping to that. Time will go. That is the end of this exhibition. 4 submissions for Gordon Ryan in that 15-minute time period. A display of skill from the #1 pound-for-pound no-gi grappler in the world. And Phillip Rowe, man, he certainly put some pressure on there. But Gordon Ryan, the king, the undisputed king of no-gi grappling.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for our main event athletes, Phillip Rowe and Gordon Ryan.
Gordon Ryan, an excellent showcase of technical skill. Phillip Rowe came out here and had the opportunity to go 15 minutes with one of the best combat sports athletes in the game. And I think that is a very exciting opportunity that pretty much anybody would relish. Well, let's take a look at some of these moments, shall we, Chase?
Yeah, let's take a look at some of the best moments of this match. Gordon Ryan opened up strong with this very familiar position from him.
Didn't take long.
Did not take long, kind of set the tone for the rest of the match. We did see some experimentation from Gordon and let his back be taken in some moments here. But again, it was pretty much one-way traffic for Gordon Ryan from start to finish as he locked on a variety of submissions. How many we end up with the total?
4 submissions total in that match there.
There you have it. And here we have...
This is one of the triangles that got the tap, and there was one more as well. A very unusual triangle variations as well. These weren't traditional triangles per se, but it just goes to show the variety of the technique and how it can be employed in various fashions. I'm sure we'll hear more from this from Gordon in just a second. We'll be right back after this.
This event is sponsored by BJJ Fanatics, the most trusted online BJJ store in the world, featuring instructional videos from some of the top Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu athletes, like Gordon Ryan, Bernardo Faria, John Danaher, and more. Visit bjjfanatics.com for more info and use coupon code FLOWBJJ40 for 40% off for a limited time.
BJJ Fanatics is your #1 resource on the planet for video instructionals. We have the best teachers and the best fighters in the world, and the level of detail they go into showing their techniques is second to none. No matter what aspect of your game you're looking to improve, guard, passing, submissions, gi, no-gi, win more of your fights in practice and in competition with techniques from the top BJJ fighters and instructors in the world today.
So after a very interesting 15 minutes of that exhibition match right there, an excellent display of jiu-jitsu skill in various aspects, I want to hear from Gordon Ryan after that. Gordon, okay, you've made no secret about the health issues that you're facing. You've obviously talked at length about how you're still far from returning to fully fledged competition, but this was an opportunity to shake off some rust, shake off the cobwebs, get back in. How do you feel after that?
I feel good. First of all, everybody is bitching about that match. Is that okay for you guys? I tried to make it exciting. Yeah, I felt good out there. Thank you so much to Phil for stepping up and doing this. hopefully get fun out there, and hopefully he can take something back and use it to fuck somebody up in the UFC.
So Gordon, that was a full 15 minutes there. We saw a little bit of everything, and Phil was maybe not the cooperative dance partner that you were hoping for, right? Because of course, nobody wants to be somebody's grappling dummy. He's going to come out and try a few things of his own. But did it go to plan? Did you show what you were hoping to show tonight?
Yeah, I wanted to do a little bit more back escape stuff because that's just what I released the DVD on. But he only took my back once. So I just did pin escape and a couple of submission escapes, armbar escapes, and side control mounts. So that's coming out in the future. So it was good. I think it was a lot of dynamic movement. And I think that's what fans want to see ultimately is, moving around, dynamic movement leading towards submission.
Well, we saw no less than 4 submissions in that 15-minute match. We saw a heel hook, a guillotine, and 2 variations of one of your favorite techniques, the triangle as well. Talk us through some of those techniques that you hit.
Yeah, so the initial heel hook I came up with, and I played a dilemma between sweeping him and entering into his far leg with cross ashi. And he came towards me to crush me and ended up in cross ashi. Then I hit a variation of a front triangle, a mote senkaku, called an ankle senkaku, where the angle is a little bit different than a usual front triangle. And then I hit a side triangle, yoko senkaku, to finish him, and finished him with that. And then the guillotine. The guillotine is a single arm, high elbow guillotine where I don't actually lock my hands that I came up with 3 or 4 years ago. So just trying to show stuff I don't normally do.
Well, this is the amazing thing, isn't it? That while some grapplers are out there, they're furiously protecting their secretive techniques that they're working on in the gym, you're coming out here and you're basically showing everybody exactly what you got, and they still can't beat you at your own game.
Everyone just sucks. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's a disservice to come up with all the new shit that I've been coming up with and not get to showcase it because I'm sick. So these exhibitions are perfect until my stomach hopefully gets better.
Well, Gordon Ryan, there's a fantastic display of just supreme grappling skill there. Really couldn't ask for anything better. But where can fans go if they want to learn more about your particular style of jiu-jitsu?
BJJ Fanatics, they got all the goodies, and I'm always posting stuff on my social media. So between me and BJJ Fanatics, they have their website and a YouTube channel, and you can come train with us. We're training at RJ Austin right now until we get a place opened up, and if you're in Texas, in Austin, you can head over there.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for putting on a show for us tonight, Gordon Ryan. So up next now, I'm here with Philly Fresh Rowe. Now, Philip, I can see the fight gear you got on, the homage to Michael Jordan. You got the bull shorts, you got the 23 on your back. Now, I imagine that going 15 minutes with the pound-for-pound #1 no-gi grappler in the world, it must be like going and shooting hoops with Jordan himself, right? How often could you do something with one of the best combat sports athletes in the world?
Word, man, exactly. So, FloGrappling called me. They said, hey, Gordon is making his return. He's looking to have a exhibition match. Are you up to it? What I'm going to say, no, So I got a lot of gripe from the jiu-jitsu community. I respect everybody in the jiu-jitsu community. I started in the gi. I love jiu-jitsu. It changed my life. UFC is a byproduct of me training jiu-jitsu. So I respect everybody. Mikey Musumeci, Craig Jones, Gordon Ryan, Nicky Rod. I show everybody love, everybody respect. So it's like, if they're going to call me to show up, of course I'm going to show up every time.
Now, this is the thing. You are a jiu-jitsu lover first and foremost. You obviously have a deep appreciation for the art. People know you best as a UFC fighter. And I'm wondering, is this an experience that you, as Gordon said, that you can now take the techniques that you've tasted from one of the best grapplers ever and you can apply it in the combat sports world?
Of course, man. That's like sparring with Francis Ngannou. He's literally one of the biggest, the best grappler in the world. I got the call a month and a half ago. I broke my hand on Saturday. I came to this venue with a cast on. When I got to the lobby, I took it off. I broke my 5th metacarpal. I still showed up. I didn't tell anybody, minus Nicky Rod knew. I was just talking to him.